very disorienting to realize that you were raised to be a Christian nationalist. You were raised to be a Trump voter. You were raised to be a Zionist. You were raised to be part of this religious political institution that does not align at all with the Jesus of the Gospels. It does not. It doesn't love your neighbor. It doesn't take care of the sick, the poor, the least of these. It isn't kind to your neighbor. It's not kind to the foreigner. It's not at all congruent with the teachings of Jesus Christ. And just to realize that I was raised up to end, people that raised me were hoping I would end up to be a Christian conservative. And watching the fruit of that institution now, they're voting for rapists. They're enabling white supremacy. They're upholding patriarchy. They're upholding misogyny. They're enabling bigotry. And it blows my mind that that's what I was supposed to turn into. And maybe everybody would be so proud of me if I was a Christian conservative, right? What are you supposed to do with that information? What are you supposed to do with the fact that how could I ever be part of that? Ever? And how do we move forward with this in our own families or our own religious communities that we left? And how do we move forward as a people? How do we move forward as a collective, as Americans, if we're not going to seriously examine the rotten fruit that yields from this institution? If people aren't willing to be honest, they're not even willing to be honest about it. They're not even willing to ask questions or be like, yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense. Perhaps I should dig a little deeper. But you can't make people dig a little deeper, right? They're content. They're happy. They don't want to ask the questions. They don't want to think about it. They want to ignore it. They don't want to pay attention. Meanwhile, the ones that have left, the millions, the mass exodus of people that have left this institution in the last decade because of what it's turned into or what it always was. It's extremely puzzling as to why people that should know better don't seem to know better.